All right. Okay, we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Trying to put together the pieces of this breaking story right now that evidently there are some missiles being fired into Syria near Damascus and Homs. I've got a few different things open here. I'm trying to track this, trying to find the most up-to-date information, but evidently this is not a U.S. attack. This may be coming from Israel. I'm looking at 3 different sources right now, folks, to see what I can come up with here on this, as it is still unfolding right now. I've seen some greatly conflicting information that Syrian air defense shoots down missiles over Homs. I've seen other reports that missiles have landed, so we have them either being shot down or they're landing. Trying to keep up on this. I've got 3 different things I'm looking at here, trying to get up-to-date information. Unfortunately, I can't show you what I'm looking at here, but let's see what we have happening here. If this is, hey, Tay, thanks for being in here. Hello, everybody. Again, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this alleged missile strike on Syria that is taking place right now. This may be coming from Israel. The Pentagon has said they don't have any part of this right now. Let me read you a little bit right here. Pentagon denies any military activity amid reports of missile strike on air base in Syria's Homs. Now, Syrian air defense systems have been activated in response to a missile attack apparently targeting Sharat Air Base in Homs province. This is what state media SANA reports, S-A-N-A. Now, up to 10 missiles were destroyed by the Syrian armed forces, a military sources told Sputnik, which is a Russian news site. The Syrian air defenses managed to intercept some of the projectiles, according to a SANA reporter. Meanwhile, the Al Mayadeen news outlet is claiming that all the projectiles were intercepted and inflicted no physical damage or casualties at the targeted Syrian base. And again, the Pentagon has denied this now. So that is one take on it. Looking at something else here, again, a Syria airstrike military responding to Israeli attack in Damascus and Homs. Let me pop over here back here with you again, folks. If you're out there, get into the chat. Let me know that you're here. We'll try to get to the bottom of this thing. I don't know how long I'm going to run with this tonight, folks. Just maybe a little bit to try to figure out what has happened here in Syria. Shout outs to Tay, Chandra, thanks for being here. Just Josh is here, saying that the real Russian bots are coming. Yeah, they probably are. They're here already. Who's to say I'm not a real Russian bot? But let me jump back over here, folks. Again, I want to try to bring clarity to this breaking story. I'm looking at 3 different things right now, trying to get information, and in the process, I'm seeing as much about Sean Hannity right now, and that's not what I'm looking for. I am looking at again, Syrian TV is evidently broadcasting images of these missiles over Homs. All right, so we have to take that with a grain of salt. Again, looking for updating information here. So as I understand this right now, it was 10 to 11 missiles that were fired in this area near Damascus, Homs, and it's believed to be an Israeli airstrike. And Syria is claiming they've taken all the missiles down. I do find that hard to believe. I do find it hard to believe that they would take them all down. I'm suspicious of that. I'm looking for things to update on this because, again, I'm sure information is just filtering out right now. Up to 10 missiles. And Syria's air defenses have been firing at unidentified objects. That's not unidentified flying objects, folks. That's unidentified objects over Damascus and what is believed to be an Israeli airstrike. It is being reported. So I wonder what has prompted this. I wonder what has prompted this airstrike. Did Syria do something to elicit this? Why now, after what has just happened with the missiles that were fired by the U.S., the French, and the British? Why now would Israel be following up again? No, don't forget, before, was it just last week, before the U.S., France, and Great Britain fired missiles into Israel, into Syria, Israel fired some missiles of their own a few days prior. And then on Friday night, early Saturday morning, the U.S., the U.K., and the French followed up with their own missile salvos. And now we have this going on right now, which appears to be Israeli. Now, why again are they doing this? Bad Dog, Weeby here. Welcome aboard, Bad Dog. A shout out to you. Folks, please give this a thumbs up. Please share it. We're going to stay with this a bit and see what happens. Again, we have another intimate gathering here. Maybe not as intimate as some others, but yes, Tay, they do. They do stay on my channel afterward. Now, let's see what we can find here. I want to get some clarity on what exactly is taking place. Have all these missiles been taken down? Okay. I'm looking at something here. Confirmation of targeting a military base belonging to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards west of the Syrian city of Homs by Israeli warplanes. So, okay, here we go. This, again, may be targeting, as per this tweet that I'm reading here, this may be targeting Iranian assets. And I would kind of assume that would be the case. And we're opening a very dangerous can of worms here. All right, when you're getting the Iranians involved, and I do believe, even though we don't have specific information either way, I do believe that the Iranians do have some nuclear capability. That they're not working on it. I believe personally that they have it. So this was targeting Revolutionary Guards in this area of Homs. Is what I'm looking at now. 10 to 11 missiles. Syria has claimed that they have shot them down. Israel evidently was targeting these Iranian assets near Homs. Okay, now I'm reading 6 missiles have hit Shayrat Air Base in Homs. So 6 missiles have hit. Okay, so first Syria claims they've taken down 10 or 11. Now I'm seeing that 6 missiles have hit this Shayrat Air Base in Homs. You know, this is not going to be, there's not going to be a pretty outcome to this, folks. So let me jump back over to you again here for a minute. Again, we've got a few of us here, so I'll stay with this. I'm trying to track down exactly what is taking place here. This is unfolding right now, folks, so it's not like I have a prepared program to bring to you. Get a drink if you want, a drink of water, drink of coffee, drink of soda, drink of tea. But we now have had some missiles that are evidently have hit Shayrat Air Base. 3 missiles have hit Dumair Air Base. I'm trying to clarify now. Is this the same air base with 2 different names? Let me see if I can refresh this here and see what is coming up with this. Again, folks, thumb this up, share it if you will. There's nothing new on this end here. I'm going to look at something else right here, see if we can get to exactly what is taking place. More missile strikes. Okay, it looks like we might have some updated information here. Is it still pretty much the same thing? Now this source here, RT, is saying it still remains unclear. It still remains unclear who launched the attack. The reported strike comes, of course, just days after Washington, London, and Paris carried out their own coordinated attack, and after Israel used their own F-15s to go for that a few days earlier. Now, other accounts here are saying that Israel is responsible for this attack. And again, as I just read, it is involving Iranian assets. So that's what I'm finding on this right now. There seems to be a little bit of a let-up in the action here as to what's being reported. And again, I'm looking at 4 different sources now. And and one of these might soon be weeded out as not having. Let me read you this, folks. Again, let me read you this. This is kind of an up to date of where we are at right now. This is per RT. Syrian air defenses respond to missile over Homs province. Okay, so missiles. And again, this is the story that I can read here for you. Homs air defense systems have been activated again in response to a missile attack apparently targeting Shayrod Air Base in Homs province from state media Sana. Up to 10 missiles were destroyed by Syrian armed force. Okay, so that's still the same. Now, the Pentagon has denied initiating strikes or conducting any other military activity in Homs province. There is no U.S. military activity in that area at this time. This is per the Pentagon spokesperson telling Reuters this. The same information was also shared with TASS news agency by Pentagon spokesman Eric Pahan. So the United States is not involved in this, according to the Pentagon. According to yet unconfirmed reports, the missiles entered Syrian airspace from Lebanon. Okay, so they entered from Lebanon, which may indicate that the Israeli Air Force could have been involved. Now, Al Masdar News reports citing a military source. So these missiles may have come from Lebanon via Israeli aircraft. That sounds very logical now in light of just reading that to you, folks. So we have that right now, and again, we'll hang with us a while longer. I still believe this is an unfolding scenario. Let me jump back in here again. We're shouting out Tate Francis and Chandra Gleason and Just Josh. We got Bad Dog in here. Again, the rest of you, I know that there's more of you out there. Pop into the chat. Let us know you're here. Please give this a thumbs up. Please share it if you feel so led to, folks. Check out the links below. You know, it's my usual blah, 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 blah that I always do in my videos. But I have to do that. That's part of the thing here, I guess, folks. Okay, I'm trying to find, I'm going to try to track down another source here for this. Again, bear with me. This isn't what I'm looking for right now. This deal with Sean Hannity and Cohen, Trump's lawyer. I don't know why that's such a huge story. I mean, seriously. So what? I mean, if you watch Sean Hannity, I don't. I mean, I catch him on the radio once in a while. But so what? So what? If he had the same lawyer, I mean, big deal, right? Let's just keep digging for more dirt. Let's get all the dirt we can get here. Okay, let me give you what this is saying here. See if we have anything new. Get that out of there. I agree. Yep. You're going to leave cookies all over my computer. I get that. Don't worry. I'm going to clean them with C Cleaner. Okay. Now, Syria's air defense shoots down 9 Israeli missiles. Okay, so now this latest is rocket alert. Syria's air defense shoots down 9 Israeli missiles after fresh airstrike over Damascus. Let's see if we can get something factual here, something that is irrefutable. I guess is that really what we're looking at here? We have 9 missiles now that Syria has claimed to shot down. I've seen 10. I've seen 11. So here's the deal. It appears that Syria, at least Syria, is claiming they've shot down a number of these missiles, and Israel was targeting Iranian assets in Homs. So this is where it seems to stand right now. You know that this is not going to close up quietly. This is not going to end quietly. There's going to be continued follow-up. It makes me wonder how long will it be until Iran actually makes a physical move on Israel, and then we can start to talk about Summer BC. That's correct. I'm skeptical they've shot down any of them, but Aaron 4678 Summer BC, shout outs to you, Aaron. What we're talking about here again is that there has been missile strikes in Syria within the last half hour. The Pentagon is claiming they have nothing to do with it. This is likely an Israeli attack, and it appears that it may be an attack on Iranian assets in Syria. Now, Syria, again, this is in Homs, which is near Damascus, and Syria's claiming they've shot down 9, they've shot down 10, they've shot down 11. I am guessing, if I was to venture a guess, I would guess they've shot down none, maybe 1, maybe 2. There's going to be that stretching of the truth here. We're still tracking this down, folks. So bear with me. Again, please give this a thumbs up. Please share it. I'm trying to get some real numbers here for you, knowing that this is still probably an unfolding event. Let's see. Okay, the missile. Now I'm looking at this local reporter Ibrahim Judah. Okay, let me see if I can get him here. Hang on one second, folks. Hang on one second. Good thing I know how to copy and paste, isn't it? Okay, how many different pages does this cat have? I mean, I think maybe I've heard of him. I'm trying to track down maybe somebody here who may have, nope, who may have some good specific information for us as to what is actually truly going on here. And then again, maybe not. What is this? The trouble is this individual has a number of names. And okay, guess what? I don't think we're going to find him, unfortunately. But this Ibrahim Judah, excuse me, says the missiles launched against unknown target in far east Damascus countryside. So that's what we're having with this right now. Trying to get some updated information here. And again, this is probably too soon to have things rapidly updating, but let me check this. Let me peek in on you folks for a minute here too, to let you know I'm still here. Appreciate all you being there in the chat. Please get in there. Let us know you're here. Again, we'll run with this a little while longer until we can find out specifically what has happened here. This is what we're trying to pinpoint. Okay, again, it seems like, well, okay, Night Court star Harry Anderson has died at 65. As a quick aside here, if you ever used to watch Night Court, when was that back on? In the 90s or 80s, I think that was on television. The guy that played the judge, he has died. But that's not what we're looking for here, but that's the first thing I saw. Okay, I'm seeing this multiple Israeli warplanes now entering Lebanese airspace and flying north down the Lebanese coastline. Okay, this hit Twitter a few minutes ago. Okay, now I'm pulling this stuff off of Twitter. Let's hope that it's factual. Again, I'm going to preface this by saying that these are individuals tweeting this. Okay, now this may be good information. We're gathering information right now. We're like investigators here. David Shapira is tweeting that now the Israeli army is declaring a state of emergency on the Syrian-Israeli border in the Golan Heights. Okay, now this same person, again, this is per a tweet by David Shapira. I want you to take this. I want you to take this with an open mind. We're trying to attempt to discover through investigation what is factual here. Reports were, according to David Shapira, there were Russian soldiers at the Dumiyar airport targeted by Israel. I'm skeptical of that, folks. I'm skeptical that the Israelis would be targeting Russian soldiers. They would be targeting Iranians, absolutely. And again, the same person, now the Israeli army is declaring a state of emergency on the Syrian-Israeli border in the Golan Heights. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, well, there's somebody else now. There's somebody else tweeting the same thing or something similar. Israeli missiles target military base allegedly filled with Russian soldiers. Unconfirmed. Okay, this is from Al Masdar News. This is unconfirmed. They say unconfirmed. I am saying, so let's see this mouth right here. It is saying unconfirmed. So we have that. Why would Israel be targeting Russian soldiers? AG, thank you. Thank you for using the super chat. Folks, the super chat is down there. I greatly appreciate anybody that would be using that for me. Let's see. We got some new folks in here. We've got Rabbit Rockfish. We've got Armo Bro. Welcome aboard, Mr. North Dakota Bound. You were here with me yesterday, I think. Welcome aboard, sir. Great to have you in here. We're trying to figure out what is going on here right now in Syria involving Israel. And I'm seeing some crazy things that I have a hard time believing would be true, but I can't say they're not true. Why would Israel be targeting Russian soldiers? Why? I'm sorry, Iranian soldiers? Yeah. Okay, so we have up to 10 missiles here. Another source is claiming. I'm going to just keep wading through this, and we're going to discover this together. Okay, I'm going to grab another sip of water here. Okay, so now another source is here saying Syrian government is saying that Israel is bombed. Another is saying that Syrian air defense is down 3 Israeli missiles. Okay, again, is Israel News Live. Okay, Israel News Live on Twitter is now saying multiple Israeli airplanes now entering Lebanese airspace and flying north down the Lebanese coastline. So that's 2 different sources that have said that now. And this is coming from Israel News Live, which, again, hopefully is a little more credible than some individual that might just be throwing things up here to create excitement. But so this is an ongoing event. Another tweeter is saying that the Israeli army is declaring a state of emergency on the Syrian-Israeli border in the Golan Heights. So there is indeed, folks, there is something going on here. There are missiles being fired. There is definitely an event here, and you know that this has got all the possibility in the world of trying to or developing into something. I'm collecting my thoughts. I'm trying to get you up to date on this. To start fresh, okay, because some of you new folks have jumped in here. We've had reports of missiles striking, going into landing, some saying landing, some being shot down in Homs near Damascus, Syria. The Pentagon has denied that they have done this. It looks like Israel is firing evidently on Iranian assets again in Syria. So we have these missiles going into Syria near Damascus, Far East Damascus, Homs area. Evidently, now I've seen these tweets saying that they were firing at Russian soldiers. I'm skeptical of that. I've also seen information here that they were firing on Iranian assets in Syria. I am more apt to believe that as the truth, not the Russian soldiers. So we have Syria may have shot down 3 of these missiles. And right now we also have evidently, purportedly, we have a state of emergency declared by Israel on the Israeli border with the Golan Heights, okay, with Golan, Syria area there. I lost that. But we evidently have that state of emergency now. We evidently, purportedly, this comes from Israeli news here on Twitter, that Israeli planes are currently flying along the Lebanon border with Syria. And that was just a few minutes ago. So it sounds like we have some manner of hot mess underway over there. As to how hot this mess is going to get, well, we're going to find out. Robert WM83AM is with us again. Thank you, sir. He thinks the world is a stage. Is their Jim a fear tactic. You know, a lot of people. Summer PC. Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a military analyst. Didn't you put something like that in one of my videos as a comment not long ago? And I couldn't figure out what you were talking about. Yeah. You know, I'm not a military analyst either, nor am I a doctor, nor have I ever played one on television. Okay. But let me try to get a refreshing of information here if I can. Okay. I'm wading through a number of things. I am wading through all of this Sean Hannity news with Michael Cohen and the fact that, well, he might have been his lawyer. Sean Hannity claims he wasn't his lawyer, but they did have some contact. I guess evidently Sean Hannity asked him some questions, got his advice on something, and this came up today in proceedings. That's not what we're watching right now, okay? My interest in that is minimal at best. I am looking for up-to-date information on what is going on here right now with Israel and Syria and the possibility of the Israelis having fired missiles at Iranian assets in Syria. This is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. This is still breaking as we speak. See if I can get some refreshed information here. Again, the Pentagon has denied this, folks, that they have anything to do with it, I should say. The Pentagon is not part of this. It looks like to be an Israeli event. This is the second time now in about, what, a week that Israel has gone in because they've had some concern about something going on in Syria involving Iranians. Now, according to this latest I'm looking at here, Syria's media says the country's military has confronted an aggression and has shot down missiles over Homs. And again, it's up to 9 missiles, it's up to 10 missiles, up to 11 missiles. That's what I'm looking at an image. Actually, I'm looking at an image from the U.S. strike, the U.S. British-French strike from a few days ago. And we're still waiting to see what Russia is going to do in regards to that airstrike. Is Russia going to retaliate? Is it going to be a cyber attack? Okay. Now, a source here from Syria saying government channel SANA. Again, SANA is Syrian news. Okay, that's Syrian government news. A government channel SANA says regime forces have tried to block rockets from an unknown source, which targeted Shayrat Air Base in Homs. No clarification on what was targeted exactly. So there's something a little different. No clarification. We don't know who was doing this. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. But the most logical information, the most believable, credible information I have seen is that the Israelis may have been targeting some Iranian assets inside of Syria. I'm trying to get more here, trying to get more, folks. I've seen a few still images, but again, nothing exciting. I wish I could get another source here. I've got 4 different things open right now that I am looking at. But that's where that appears to be standing right now. Anywhere between 9 and 11 missiles having gone into having gone into Syria near Damascus. Syria claims to have shot down at least some of them. I've seen tweets about Israel targeting Iranian assets and Russian soldiers. Again, why would Israel be targeting Russian soldiers? Now, there's the Bible prophecy of Gog-Magog war in Ezekiel 38 and 39. That is a prophecy that, of course, has yet to be fulfilled, and that is something that could be the hook in the jaws. If for whatever reason Israel was targeting those Russian soldiers, that might finally be the hook in the jaws, but that is purely conjecture right now. So this is what we are working with on this. Again, I'm still seeing this. I'm seeing this now popping up all over. Multiple Israeli warplanes now entering Lebanese airspace and flying north on the Lebanese coastline. Okay, so we have that, and I've mentioned that a few times already. 6 missiles. I think I might have mentioned that 6 missiles may have hit, but again, give this a thumbs up, folks. I'm going to stay this a few more minutes. If I'm going to try to find, again, anything, just hanging with this to see if anything new, anything specific pops up that I can report to you about this, these missile strikes in Syria. You know, this is not going to just, with the frequency that these things are taking place. We had Israel fire missiles into Syria last week, and then we had that followed up by the U.S., French, and UK's volley of missiles into Syria, and now we have this second Israeli attack with missiles, you know this is not going to fade away into the oblivion, and we're never going to hear from this about this again. This is going to be. I think that again we have torn open some cans of worms here, and this thing is just going to continue to escalate into something. Folks, these are as we were discussing last night. Yes, the hook in the jaw. I'm wondering if that hook in the jaw is if Israel was firing on Russian soldiers, would that be the hook in the jaw? I was wondering. We don't have any confirmation of that. That's something I saw pop up in a couple places on Twitter. That could be pure conjecture for all I know. All we know for a fact is this: the facts appear to be that missiles were fired into the Homs area near Damascus. It looks more and more like they came from Israel. The Pentagon has stated that they have nothing to do with this. This is not an American event. And now the things that we've seen anywhere from 3 being shot down by Syria to all being shot down by Syria to none being shot down by Syria, that some have struck. This is where it starts to get fuzzy. This is where the fog of deception, this is where the obfuscation starts to come into play. And when we look for the truth in this, but we can take for fact that Israel has fired some missiles into Syria. Evidently, Dylan, right now, as far as this going on here, this is still breaking. I am looking at 4 different places right now, and I'm not getting a lot of updates. Sometimes you literally have to start crawling through Twitter of all places to find what people are tweeting about it. Sometimes you get fantastic information that way. Sometimes you get bull crap too. You have to learn to decipher fact from fiction when you're doing that. As in with all news reporting, you got to learn to decipher the fact from the fiction, because there's both. Yes, that's one too. I did look at that one earlier. And that's where I got some of this on the onset. But it looks like right now, folks, again, we have those planes. We have Israeli planes, multiple planes flying the Lebanese border with Syria. And we've had those missiles go in. And we have, that's where everything else gets fuzzy after that as to why this happened. We can... Now, okay, there's someone here saying, yes, there are witness reports that Israel targeted and have targeted Syrian bases the Russian military is or has occupied. Okay, I keep seeing this popping up. Okay, but again, this person, there are no confirmed Russian casualties at this point, but that could change at any moment. This is what I am trying to get to the bottom of. And again, I have to wonder, why would Israel be targeting Russian soldiers? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me right now. We know what is prophesied in the Bible, Gog Magog. And could that be the hook in the jaw? I guess I'll have to concede that maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe it's time to hook that jaw. I don't know. But I'm going to try something else here, see what we can come up with, because again, I understand that this is this is a fluid situation right now, and we have to bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know what I just did there. I think I hit. Okay. See what we've got here. I was here with this a few minutes ago. I'm going to jump back to Intel Crab per that suggestion. That's where I started digging for all this stuff. And this kind of gives me what we've already announced here, that there are no U.S. coalition operations in the area of Homs. This is per the Pentagon, and that's really what this is showing me here too. That it is pretty much where we stand right now is what we know. If that makes any sense to you, does that make any sense to you, folks? Where we stand on this right now, we need to I'm hoping that the reporting and the information on this is not seemingly coming to a slowdown or a halt right now, as maybe things are being sorted out. But let's see what I can come up with here. Dig, 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 dig. Dig, dig, dig. I'm a digging. Again, it's so much about Sean Hannity right now. And Syrian regime surface-to-air missiles have been launched tonight against unidentified airplanes. Okay, so now unidentified airplanes. First, we had missiles being shot down or shot at. Now we have then unidentified airplanes being shot at the military airport of Al Dumir. Okay, so this does appear to involve both airplanes and missiles. Again, breaking is fluid. It is underway. There will be multiple reports that pop up about multiple things when we dig and we try to get to the bottom of it and find the truth. Okay, let me catch up over here for a moment. Summer, BC, Elfminster, Dylan Blake, Patricia DeLeonardo. Shout outs to all of you speaking plainly beyond correctness. Shout outs to all of you, Robert W83M. Shout outs to all of you. This isn't as fun as it was last night, folks, because I'm more preoccupied. I'm more staring at tabs and things, trying to gather information. I am not freestyling as much as I was last night. And again, I hadn't planned on doing a live stream tonight, but when I saw this story pop up, I thought it would be a good thing to do. But that's where it stands right now, folks. I don't think there's anything new to report. Let me just try to review for you. We've had missiles go into Syria. Okay, we've had missiles fired from Syria. It's anywhere from 8 to 9 to 10 to 11. There are reports saying that Syria has shot down several. There's other reports saying that Syria, thanks AG, thanks Summer BC. Other reports saying that Syria has taken them all down. Other reports saying that Syria has taken none of them down. Well, it is likely, most likely, that Israel has been the nation or the force. The IDF has fired these missiles into Syria. Did I say missiles? That sounds so British, doesn't it? These missiles. Okay. We've had reports of Israeli aircraft following along the Lebanese border with Syria, flying in from the Lebanese border to Syria. Syria, evidently, their forces have fired on Israeli planes and missiles, if I understand this all correctly. So the other things that have popped up, again, just chasing this on Twitter for a bit, purportedly, okay? Now, there's two different words here. There's reportedly and there's purportedly. Reportedly is something that is being reported as de facto, as fact. Okay, purportedly is, well, this might have happened. Purportedly, we think this happened, but we're not sure. Purportedly, the Israelis were shooting at Russian soldiers, and purportedly, the Israelis were firing at Iranian assets. I'm more likely to believe the Iranian assets part of it, not so much the Russian soldiers part of it. That is something that I'm not so sure I'm going to jump right in and believe. Yes, Summer BC, Russia, Syria says 70% were shot down. What the hell? Someone is lying. Oh, you can bet there's all kinds of lying going on here. Okay, I do believe that if this is going down like we're seeing reported here, yeah, it was probably Israel. I don't think it was the Pentagon, but then again, maybe it was. Maybe it was. Okay, this is what makes this so interesting. But I got to tell you that right now, it looks like the reporting, the tweeting, and all of this particular story seems to be coming to a grinding halt. I mean, there's nothing new going up here, but bear with me a minute. Don't run off yet, okay? Okay, that's something else. I don't know how that happened, but that's not what we want. Hey, there's a picture of Theresa May. All right. She's not very well liked lately in the UK. Let's see what this has got for me right here. Okay. Bear with me, folks. I'm asking you to bear with me while I try to track down what heck is happening here in Syria. All right. It seems, folks, it seems that there is, let me look at this. Let me look at this. Unfortunately, I don't have this set up where you can see all, like in a video, I can show you multiple things at once, but here, no. The story seems to have been, the song remains the same as Led Zeppelin sang. The song remains the same. Nordic Sun, this could very well be a big distraction. We're being distracted all over, sideways, up, down, and all around. News reports say that all of the missiles hit the targets last Friday. Syria couldn't hit any. Yeah, I'm tending to believe that. Summer BC mentions buying yourself some 25-year shelf life food. Yeah, that's a darn good idea. And I'm going to take a sip of water here. The Guardian just reported that it happened. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of reports saying this has happened. My struggle right now is to get the most up-to-date information on this. I think we can pretty much believe that this has happened. We just don't have. There's nothing new. And again, you got to understand that news coming out of Syria is not going to be always clear. It's going to be obfuscated. Okay, it's going to be covered over. It's going to be made fuzzy, so we can't tell exactly what's going on. There's going to be a lot of purportedly said here. Got a bit of a headache, but that's all right. I'll survive it. I'm no panty waste. I can survive a headache. That's why they make Tylenol. Okay, so that's where it's standing right now. Let's give a shout out to Nordic Sun, to Barf245 for being in here. You've come in a couple of minutes. The two Russian ships on the way with tanks and equipment to Port Tartus. I did something on that last night. These Russian ships that are heading to Tartus, Syria, are loaded with a lot of equipment. They're loaded with tanks. They're loaded with ambulances. They're loaded with trucks. They're loaded with portable bridges. These two ships heading into Tartus are loaded as though they are planning on some sort of military confrontation. And could that be military confrontation with the U.S. or NATO? Let's hope not. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, it makes me speechless, but we don't need that right now. I know I'm sounding somewhat repetitive here, but folks, there appears to be. I'm going to jump back over here to what everyday people are putting up on Twitter. People that may actually be near the area. I got to tell you, it's almost like everything here has come to a grinding halt. But let me check one more thing, all right? Before we conclude that this is all we know on this for now, let me see if I can check one more thing here that might provide us some up-to-date information on what has transpired here. Man, there's just not. But it's almost like this thing has just been shut down. It's really weird, folks. It's like all this reporting was spilling out, and then it's come to a stop. I'm seeing more about what happened with the U.S., Brit, French airstrikes. Okay, here we go. Let me see what I've got here. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, bear with me. Okay, here we go. All right. Is this anything new? This is anything new. What I'm looking for is something new. I am looking for a live update. Okay, I am looking again at the Guardian, and there is nothing new. There's nothing new. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things right now. And you probably are impressed that I could count to 5. And it's like this whole thing has just suddenly come to a screeching, grinding halt. Yeah, Barf 245. That is true. The Pentagon has said they did not hit any of these targets. James Coop says this is going to get out of hand. You know that it is. It's getting out of hand slowly right now. Nordic Sun, thank you, thank you. Hello, love your videos. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. We're trying to grow this thing. We're trying to bring you the truth. Here is what I'm trying to do. I am watching this world. I write fiction books about this world. Can I just can I pump for a moment here, folks? Will you bear with me? I'm hoping that Light, the Wayfair story, my new book. I'm hoping that we're looking at maybe a matter of days now before I roll this thing out. And again, it's fiction. But I got to tell you, I don't know how fictional my fiction really is. It may almost be more faction than fiction. You're going to love this thing, and you're going to want to read the other Wayfarer stories. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it today, obviously. I can't. I'm going to have a giveaway soon, where I'm going to give away a paper. I've got 3 Wayfarers books. It's turned out to be a trilogy. There's the revised edition, there's Fortress, and then there is the upcoming Light. I'm going to give away a signed copy of all 3 of those books to one person. I'm going to give away the complete set, or maybe 2 people. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that, okay? So you can, if you're interested, I'm going to figure out some sort of little plan or game where 1 or 2 of you can win an autographed copy of all 3 of my Wayfarers books, all right? But I got to figure that out. Okay, right now I'm more worried about Syria and Israel and what the heck is going on over here. Okay, that's what we're talking about right now. And dang it, why is there no new information on this thing? I mean, has there been a complete radio silence on this? Has this thing been completely shut down? Have the powers that be decided that nobody's going to know anything about this? Folks, I got to tell you, this story is gone. I mean, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, the reports on the news websites are all still there, but they have not updated. But when I'm checking, again, Twitter is an amazing place to check. You know, Twitter can take a bum rap. Twitter, in many ways, is full of crap, absolutely. But when it comes to breaking events, things pop up on Twitter, and you get people that are actually right there where this is going on, putting up stuff as they see it. So that's what's neat about Twitter is how live Twitter really is. It is so live. It is so, okay, this just happened, and okay, what have I got here? What have I got here? Let's try this. Bear with me, folks. I hope this isn't the same dang thing I was just looking at a second ago. Have I got something new here? Maybe a little bit more of a okay, breaking explosion at Israeli-held area of Golan near Syria border. Okay, this might be something new. A large explosion has been heard in the Israeli-held area of Golan Heights near the Syrian border immediately after an airstrike hit several Syrian bases. It has been reported. Okay, so this is something new. All right, let's see what else we've got on this. There have been reports of a significant explosion according to local reports, okay? It comes immediately after Syrian state TV confirmed an airstrike hit several bases. So has this been multiple bases? Syrian state television has confirmed its air defenses are repelling attacks in the country's Homs region. Now, the military announced at around 1:10 a.m. local time, it's 11:10 Greenwich Mean Time, that it had fired missiles toward the Shayrat Air Base, excuse me, to the southeast of Homs and its surrounding area in the Homs Governorate. Okay, so this is new, an explosion at Israeli-held area of Golan near Syria border. So what exactly do we have multiple things happening in this area right now? That is my take on this. Stizzle the G, welcome aboard. It could be the calm before the storm. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're definitely looking at all manner of nice calm before a storm here. That's for sure. Okay, so we have that now, folks. We have the reports of the explosion near the Golan Heights. This sounds like it might be something aside from the missile strikes that went into that area near Damascus 45 minutes ago. This is a significant explosion. Okay, I mean, of course, the word significant. I mean, how significant is significant? You know, it's like it depends on what the meaning of the word is, as Bill Clinton said. You know, it depends on what you say the meaning of the word is. But we have that now. It's possibly a second situation here with that. Let's see if I can get some refreshed information here, because I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, and my inquiring mind wants to know what is going on here. But again, it says Syrian state television has confirmed its air defenses are repelling, not have repelled, but are repelling, as this is active, repelling attacks in the country's Homs region. Okay, so I'm going to hang with that for a minute, and then I'm going to jump back on over here to see if anything new has popped up on this end. Just let me do the work here, folks. You just hang right there and have some coffee and chat amongst yourselves, and you know, give this a thumbs up. Please share it if you haven't done so already. If you would. And there is that super chat down there. I hate to keep I don't pump it that often, okay? But there is that super chat if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or something. If you want to buy me a different color water bottle than this. This thing is actually purple. It looks pink right now, I know, but it's purple. All right, magenta. It's magenta, okay? It's a light purple. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty hip on my colors here as to what's what color. Summer BC wants to date a Syria girl. I don't know any. I don't know any Summer BC. I sorry. I hope you find one, man. All right, let's again check here. I've lost a few of you, but we'll hang with this a little while longer to see if we can get any other new information on this. Okay. Several reporters in the area claim the airstrike was carried out by Israeli fighter jets flying at high altitude after crossing the borders through Lebanon. Okay, so they went in there. They're up high. They fired their payloads, and then they probably skedaddled back to Israel, I would imagine. So that's the latest. There's now been this explosion. There's been this loud explosion in the Israeli-held area of the Golan Heights near the Syrian border. So it could be we have two specific events here, two different things happening at one time. This is not this is not going to have a great outcome. Okay, this is not going to end happy with hands shaking. It's going to end more with hands shaking like this. So we have that, folks. Israelis don't take credit for their strikes at SOP, standard operating procedure. Yes, that's very true. That's very true, Chandra. That's a good thing, a good point to bring up. Margarita Naves, hi, welcome aboard. Shout outs to you. Anybody else new in here that I can shout out? I love shouting you folks out. I'd rather shout you out than shout at you. That's for sure. I don't shout at people generally. All right. Let's see. Going back over here now. I appreciate your patience with me. I'm looking for more new live information. But that seems to be where it's standing right now. Okay, let me try to review all this for those of you who have come in here. This started out as strikes in Homs near Damascus, Syria. Okay, 9 missiles, 10 missiles, 11 missiles. And now it was reported that the Pentagon has said they have nothing to do with this. So immediately it's Israel that is looked at as being, it's more or less confirmed that Israel has done this, that they may have been. Okay, now this is where it gets weird. That they may have been targeting Iranian assets. And I can't blame them. I would be targeting Iranian assets if I were them too inside of Syria. Absolutely. But there's also been reports that they have targeted Russian soldiers. Now, I don't get that. Again, I can't confirm that. Some people were tweeting that. All right. So that is conjecture. It could be true. Could be true. Okay. You know, I know I'm doing lots of things with fingers right now. I don't know why I'm doing that, but it makes for a more exciting visual. All right. So they could have been. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I find it hard to believe that the Israelis would be targeting Russians inside of Syria. Could happen. Okay. But I'm color me skeptical. Okay. Get the crayon and color me skeptical. So we've had that. Then we have Syria claiming that they have shot down 3 of these missiles, all of these missiles, none of these missiles. But it is suffice it to say, these missiles have hit, and they may have hit several places, including a couple of air bases near Damascus. All right. And now we've had reports of Israeli jets flying the Lebanon border and then going into Syria. And then we've had reports of a loud, significant explosion in the Israeli-held area of Golan near the Syrian border. So that's where this stands right now. So this sounds basically like there is some level of feces hitting the fan over there. Okay, and you know that this is not just going to fade away quietly. This is not just going to be a we are looking at escalating events here, folks. If we're just looking at the last week, we are looking at escalating events, okay? I mean, we are looking at that the prophetic timeline. We are looking at this stepping into the end of days. We're running a little faster. We're running a little faster now, all right? I mean, again, here I am with the hands. There goes the... I don't know why. I don't know why I do that, okay? But that's to illustrate to you that I'm doing this for emphasis. That's what it's for. Yes, Anan Ra, Syria was this to catch you up. This event began maybe an hour, a little over an hour. Yeah, I've been in here almost 57 minutes. About an hour and 15 minutes ago, maybe it started out with missiles going into Syria, in Homs, which is near Damascus. The Pentagon says they didn't do it. Israel has most likely done this. The reports are they may have been targeting Iranian assets inside of Syria. And this is where it gets even weirder. They may have been targeting Russian soldiers. I tend to be skeptical of that particular one. But from the Jerusalem Post, Hezbollah missiles intercepted over Syria's Dumar military airport. That's very possible. Dan, this is biblical. We are living in biblical times. What is it that Pastor Paul Begley says? You ever watch Pastor Paul Begley? There is something biblical going on with the signs. I love that guy. He's always got his coffee, you know. Go get some coffee. There's something biblical going on with the signs. I love Pastor Paul Begley. I haven't watched him in a while, but truly, when I say that I enjoy his work, I truly do. Recommend him. Check him out. Check him out. All right. Let me dive back in here to see if I can find out anything new. Okay. We're going to stay with this a little bitty bit longer. I keep saying that, but as long as new things continue to pop up on this, I'm going to hang in here and try to, okay, again, so there are also now reports of covert airstrikes carried out by Israeli forces at Iranian bases in the Jabal Azan region south of, okay, that was last weekend. Okay, scratch that. That was last weekend. Why that was added into this current story, I don't know. But we are seeing potentially the fulfillment of a number of prophecies here, ladies and gentlemen. The first one that pops into my mind is Isaiah chapter 17, verse 1, which is Damascus ceases to be a city; it becomes a ruinous heap. Okay, that's looking like that thing is coming close to being fulfilled. Psalm 83 is a description. That's another one. Psalm 83 is Israel having a war with all of its neighbors. Well, that may be partially fulfilled already, and we're looking at the possibility, especially now, if Israel was targeting Russian soldiers inside of Syria, if that could be the hook in the jaw to bring about the fulfillment of Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39, which is the Gog-Magog war. That's another one. But these are all things that we are watching for right now. We are watching for, and you know that Satan has his antichrist. He has his antichrist candidate. He always has one. He always has one. Okay, and that man is going to forge that fake 7-year peace deal between Israel and her neighbors. And that man exists right now. And I have we again fictionally, I have written quite a thing on this in my upcoming book about that man. But this is where this stands right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have what appears to be multiple events that have taken place between Israel and Syria. Yep, I was just Fishmech, welcome aboard. I was just talking about that right there. That's the breaking explosion in the Israeli-held area of the Golan Heights near Syria. That is separate and aside from what these missiles that have gone into these several locations in Syria. That explosion appears to be separate and aside from those other events, while happening nearly simultaneously. So we have that going on right now. Yep. But thanks for reporting that. I just heard thunder. I just heard thunder. Wow. Yeah. All right. I mean, it's been raining here. It's been raining here all day. It's been extremely windy. In my area of upstate New York here, we've had some serious high winds today. I just heard thunder. It's funny, as I'm talking about this, I heard thunder. I hope it wasn't a bomb, AG. I hope it wasn't. But I sounded like thunder. It just went crack. I don't know if you heard it over the microphone. I mean, it was right outside my window here behind me. But I just heard thunder as we're talking about this. Is there anything metaphoric in that, folks? Do you think? We're talking about this stuff. We're talking about potential biblical prophecies being filled, and then we hear that I hear that crack of thunder back there. Is it just coincidental? But I don't believe there are any coincidences. Yeah, there's been some power outages upstate here too, AG. We've been losing power around this area too. It's because these winds are so powerful. This weather is just very peculiar, okay? And it certainly fits with the times, folks. We are living in very biblical times. Okay, now Anon Ray, you've caught my attention. You've made me change my topic from weather. I've heard people say Iran confirmed that they will immediately retaliate on Israel. Has this been confirmed? No, but will they? Okay, that's a mighty good question. Will they retaliate on Israel? Will they? I'm trying to think of that scripture too. Where is the scripture that says, "O ye that dwell carelessly in the isles and the coastlands, watch for sudden destruction cometh upon you"? As I think that's the scripture that talks about the being behind the walls and being quiet and having a feeling of peace, when in fact on the other side of that wall there is all hell breaking loose. But we have a number of things taking place right now. Let me check back over here, folks, because I want to find out. This inquiring mind wants to know. All right. Yeah. Trump, Sean Hannity, Trump. Who knew what, when, where, why, and how? Let's see here. Again, let me check this to see if I can get an update here on that explosion in the area of Golan near the Syrian border. Is there anything new that is okay? No, they seem to be kind of rehashing now on what happened days ago with the coalition strike, the small coalition of 3. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Iran and Israel, other than the fact that I'm aware of that prophecy, which is Gog Magog, and Iran will come with Russia. Now, are we close to that happening? Very possibly. Very possibly. Barf 245 says World War III will be a very short war, so they say nukes can do unspeakable damage. Nukes can do unspeakable damage, permanent damage. Absolutely. That's a good point, though. Thanks for bringing that up. Folks, again, I want to remind you, please give my stream here a thumbs up. Please share it. A couple more minutes, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. I'm just trying to get to the bottom. Also, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, folks. I'm putting up news videos every day, all depending on what's happening. It could be anywhere from 1 to 10. It all depends on what's going on. Yeah, Dabu did talk about that. That Russian threat is very real. And don't forget that Russia has moved some assets back into Tartus, Syria. What the heck is... never mind. I was looking at something that was not real. Okay, now this is interesting. This is slightly off this topic and something else. NBC Politics is saying 2 senators unveiled an updated war authorization that would allow President Trump to extend the war on terror in places such as Afghanistan, Somalia, and Yemen. Yemen, that's a place to watch where the U.S. is fighting terrorism groups. Yeah, so by all means, we need to extend that war on terror. I hope you note my sarcasm, folks. Yeah, we need to keep that thing going. We need to keep that successful war on terror going, so we can just keep funding the military-industrial complex. Absolutely. Okay, now I'm looking at a person is tweeting here, reports that 5 Israeli missiles fired by warplanes over Lebanon have been shot down by Syrian air defenses. Okay, so that's we're again, reports that are favorable to Syria are saying but basically, to summarize it, everything that's been fired has been shot down. Okay. But there is reports of explosions near IRGC area and Homs T4 Air Base. Again, I don't know where this person's getting that from, but it is worth mentioning. We have that. So as it stands right now, we have this potentially, we have an explosive situation taking place with Israel, with Syria, the possibility of Iran and Russia having been targets in this. This is where it's standing at the moment, folks. There doesn't seem to be anything too awfully fast and furious breaking on this right now. So now Supreme Gentleman is posting here, 2 missiles managed to hit Dumiar Air Base near ammo depots northeast of Damascus, where Russia has presence. Missiles came from the south. Now, again, that could play into these tweets that we saw, that Russian soldiers were being targeted by the Israelis. That Supreme Gentleman, thank you for that, by the way. Welcome aboard. That could have something to do with that, absolutely. But again, this seems to be, as far as new news on this, it seems to be quieting. Is this event over? That's what I'm wondering. Has the work been done? Have the jets gone home? Have the missiles stopped? And then we just wait for the aftermath and the retaliations. And what will Russia do? Okay, we've been waiting for this Russian retaliation, or this threatened retaliation of the attacks by the U.S., the Brits, and the French on Syria. The Russians have threatened that the Chinese have threatened retaliation. Now, I believe that if there is any manner of retaliation, again, it's going to be something cyber related. That's my feeling on it. Even though Russia has moved all these assets back into Tartus on these 2 ships, as I reported last night, I somehow think it's going to be more. It's going to be something as simple as thousands and thousands of more bots, or something more advanced. Do they have the possibility to hit our power grid? I think so. The power grid is something we need to watch. Cyber attacks. These are all things that we need to be wary of. You know, it would be a terrible thing if suddenly we couldn't do these live streams anymore. That this was that this capability was taken away by a cyber attack or an attack on the grid, people would die. People would die by the hundreds of thousands potentially. This is not something that that we can take lightly. But folks, I think I'm going to bring it to an end right here because there doesn't appear to be anything new on this right now. Before you go, let me just make one more quick check. All right, to make sure there's something new and significant on this event that we've been talking about. Okay, 2 missiles managed to hit the Dumiar Air Base near ammo depots northeast of Damascus, where Russia has a presence, as we just mentioned a moment ago. So two of these missiles have hit Dumiar Air Base near the ammo depots. Okay, so that is, again, as we just mentioned, a bit of an update on this. This is something, again, that's probably going to take a while to sort out. So I thought I would jump in here and talk about it with you for a little bit. What is that, Chandra Amir? Behold, Israel's reporting cyber attack. Are you saying that Israel is? Did you just find this? Because I find this. I'm just about to beg off here. Is there something that? Did you just see this appear somewhere on a news link, or where did you find that? Because that's very interesting. Cyber attack. I would jump on that in a second here if that is indeed taking place. And meanwhile, I am looking to see if anything else new has popped up, other than we had the 2 confirmed strikes near the ammo depots. So, Chandra, when did this happen? Do you have a link for this or something? I'm curious. Is this something that is just breaking right now? Because I would really love to follow up on that if it is. Oh, behold Israel. Okay. All right. I got you. Yes, I've heard of him. Okay. I wasn't understanding at first. Thank you for that. All right. Well, folks, again, I think I'm going to have to let you go right now because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of information coming up to light on this these attacks where we had Israeli missiles going into Syria, as it looks, near Damascus. We've had another explosion in the Israeli-held Golan Heights. We've had confirmed hits near an ammo depot. We've had the possibility that Iranian assets were targeted, the possibility that Russian soldiers, again, I'm skeptical on that one, were targeted. And this is something that certainly come tomorrow morning, I hope we're going to have a lot more information on this. Again, before I go, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm always I'm watching the world and I'm reporting on it as best I can. Check out the links below to my fiction books. Folks, again, I want to tell you, as I always say in my videos, if you're watching world events, if you're watching the potential fulfillment of biblical prophecy, truly, I think you would love my fiction books, because that's what I'm writing fictionally about. And I have to wonder, especially in this one that I'm about to release, how fictional they really are. Check those out for me, folks. I greatly appreciate it. God bless all of you. Thank you for being in here. Chandra and Amir and Summer BC and Fishmech and Anan Ra. Let me run a few more of you here. I know some of you are gone now. Patricia and AG and anybody else up there, if you're still in here. We had Sizzle the G. We had Barf 245. We had Elf Minster. We had Nordic Sun still here. We had Margarita Naves. Thank you, all of you, for being in here. Again, this thing was unannounced. I just jumped in here with this Syrian event. I'm going to be probably hitting the hay here pretty soon. I'm kind of tired and a little bit out of it. God bless you all, folks. I appreciate you more than I can say. And this is Jim signing off, and I will see you soon.